Hi, everybody. Happy Sundays. I'm so excited. This has become something that has been very, very, very fun. Um, and I'm actually really enjoying this. I hope you are enjoying this just as much as I am. And today we are making like a comfort food. I'm kind of like improving a little bit. We have our asparagus and we have our mushrooms. Sorry. So we have our mushrooms, which is our king oyster, and then on the pot we have some sweet potatoes that is already boiling and getting soft already from the beginning. Hi, sister. You'll clean them. Oh, bless you. I did start from the top. It says you'll clean now. Oh, I didn't even see that. Because it's green and it looks like stream elements. Okay. Congratulations, Gators, on your new shave. I don't know what you looked like before, but I'm sure you're nice and smooth like a baby's bottom right now. So we're basically going to mash the sweet potatoes for a sweet potato mashed potato. We're gonna do the mushrooms kind of like STK, kind of like really good. You'll see as we go along. And then the asparagus we're going to saute and kind of like lightly roast on top of the stove. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is going to make our marinade for our mushrooms because oyster mushrooms soak in our flavors really well. First thing first, let me just wash my hands. I forgot to wash my hands after all the prepping that we did. So yeah. Alright, so our oyster mushrooms kind of give us, it's really thick. Oh, sorry, my knee hurts really bad, guys. Just FYI. But our mushrooms are really thick and they kind of stay this consistency. So they're very, not tough, but they're harder to get through. So they're not like a mushroom that you would want to eat in a sandwich without shredding it or without cutting it very small in slices. Because when you try to bite it and pull it apart, they don't kind of come apart that easily. So you want to definitely get it to the size that you want for consumption, if that makes sense. But yeah, so we're going to do our marinade in here. And first things first, we're going to put some grapeseed oil. I'm going to see if I can just get a spoon so you guys know kind of like the measurements of things. Because sometimes I just don't know. So this is 1, 2, about 3 tablespoons. And then we're going to use my favorite ingredient. I use this in probably every single thing that I cook with. And that's because it has such great properties and it's not like overpowering. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of molasses. Yep. And then we're going to take our coconut aminos. And like I said before, on the other streams that we did, coconut aminos is a great substitute for soy sauce. It has less sodium, it has no soy, and it's amazing regardless to if you're using it for vegan or non-vegan dishes. Um, you don't need as much, and it still has a little salty taste, so you want to be careful with how much you're putting in your food, but you don't even notice that there's no soy sauce taste. So you're going to put about this much. This is about like half, maybe a half of tablespoon of coconut aminos. And then we're going to put some salt. And that's about all the salt that we need for that. I'm trying to see it. Where is this station? So it's good. So that's about salt that we need. It's a little delayed on this end. So then we're going to get some chimichurri. And this is going to be okay, this is a full tablespoon chimichurri. We're going to put some oregano in here. I don't know how much that is. It's a teaspoon, okay? So a teaspoon of oregano. You know what? Forget this. Y'all can do as much as you like. Alright? Just eye it. Make sure, like, okay, yeah, that's good enough. This is basil. And then this is garlic powder. If I'm going too fast, just know that the ingredients will be placed on the Discord. And you guys get, and this is onion powder, you guys get 50% off using Twitch cookers, and you get your first day for free. So you can see what it looks like, see if it's something you would like to subscribe in. And we're putting a little bit of Danka, 2 little pinches of Danka, some coriander, right? Then we're going to put some pepper. And now the fresh ingredients, we're going to put some rosemary. Okay. So we're going to take these little parts off the rosemary. The little parts off the rosemary, so that way we don't get too much of the stem. That will be the herby part. I love fresh rosemary. Her hands just smell amazing. And it's good for like bread. So like when Dougaloo does his bread, he can use like the fresh rosemary. Alright. And then we're going to cut this up in smaller little pieces. Still in a heat wave here. It should be like cooling down next week, but it's like, jeez. Hey, Julio. Welcome any new people here. Make sure you follow the channel so that we can build a relationship in the kitchen, you know? So we're doing our rosemary. We're just sprinkling it in. You always bragging, sis. I feel like in the wintertime is like Oh, it's only about 75 degrees here. It's not so bad. We still have to wear our jackets in the inside of the winter. And then in the winter, it's like, oh, it's only 85 or 80 degrees here. And we're like, we're either frying or we're too cold. And it's like always perfect in California. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take our cilantro. If you are not a fan of cilantro, you can use parsley instead. This is a cool way to store your cilantro. So basically, when you get your cilantro from the supermarket, you're gonna get like a mason jar or a pasta jar. You're gonna fill it up halfway with water, and then you're going to take your cilantro, take the rubber band off, and then you're gonna put it inside of your water, and this will keep it. And then put it in the refrigerator, like at the bottom of the refrigerator, not too close to the light or the jets. You can put it in the door as well if you like. But this will last about 2 weeks in that position. Just pick it whenever you need it. Bruno said he liked my dress. Um, so we're going to dice this all up, small pieces, so that way it doesn't kind of take over and you're fighting pieces of cilantro. Should I move it closer? So you guys can see where I'm at. Okay, so we're going to take those small chunks. It's going to welter in your pot, so just as long as you get it at like a good amount of size, you can add it to your marinade. Okay, and then we're gonna put some of our, I don't know if you guys remember, but I had this plant on the side, inside of a jar. It was a scallion that Alina planted in her gardening class. And it started to lean over, and it started to get like this little part in it. So we are going to, basically I cut it, and then I'm going to cook it. And hopefully, I left a piece of it on it. So hopefully this will grow back. If not, then I'll toss it. That means that the roots are no good and that it's done its course. So we're going to say thank you for giving your life, and we're going to eat it. Alright, so we're going to put these scallions inside. And then now we're going to take some garlic. We need the 3 bolts is good. We don't need that many because we already have garlic inside. but you want some fresh garlic as well because it gives a different taste and more nutrition when it's fresh versus when it is already dried out and powdered. Oh, you can hear her? Hear her? Oh, okay. Can we see what Alina planted? Yeah, so that was it. Oh, we can see Alina planted. Okay, I'm confused.
So when you were cutting the monitor, she's telling us you can see the animals.
Oh.
And then later, you said, Alina,
Oh, okay. I'm trying, but it's like it's hard to do both. It's not like I'm just like sitting in front of the screen. Like when we do Friday streams, it's easier to see everybody's in. Can you guys hear the music? I don't want it to be too loud where I get striked, but I want you guys to also be able to hear music in the background, so you can groove with me in the kitchen on Sunday. Don't mind my singing. All right, so now with the so they've been doing these helicopter trainings for the police department over our houses recently, and right now they're above there again. I called 311 on them and made a complaint. And then I saw like on this app that that's what that was, which was really weird. Because they be flying too close. They were like way too close to the house. Okay, it goes in and out of your speakers. It's a bit bumpy. Alright, so I'm gonna turn it down. I guess what it is that every time I speak, the music kind of like takes second hand because this microphone is meant to pick up just my voice, and when I'm not speaking, it kind of allows other noises that are around to be picked up. So I think that's probably why it goes in and out every time I stop speaking. But I'll lower it so it doesn't seem like a. There we go. That way I'll just be able to hear it. But it was Bruno Mars playing. So. Alright, so that part is basically almost done. I'm going to check the potatoes that I already had on here to check how soft they are. I left the skin on because the skin is where the most nutrition is. And you're going to take your knife and poke through it and see if it goes all the way through. If it goes all the way through, it is ready. And guess what, guys? It's ready. So that doesn't take too long. You will put your water in this part of the pan, right? Then you'll put a strainer at the top of it. And then you're going to have your potatoes steaming at the top. So there's going to be steamed mashed potatoes. You don't want to put it in the water because all the nutrition and all the flavors are going to go into your water instead of keeping it inside of the potato. You want to steam your potato, just so you guys are aware. Drinking some lemonade. Okay. Darn it. This is the pan bowl. I think Alright, so I'm going to just put this in here for now to marinate, and then I'm going to find another bowl to do the other parts with. Interesting. Yep. Okay. This meat is really like kiddling bad. We're going to use a little bit of the cooking red wine. Put that in there for more rich flavor. Okay, and I'm going to mix it so you guys can see. It's not that much, right? Alright, and we're just going to take our mushrooms and throw them in there. Alright. So now that our mushrooms are thrown in there, we're going to take that sauce, kind of get it through. The reason why it's not like so much sauce is because of the fact that mushrooms soak in so many flavors, especially these guys. So you don't want it to be like drowning in that, and then it lets out too much water inside of your pot. You want it more of a consistency where they're not mushy. So we're going to mix it around until it gets melanated and brown. Alright. Smells really good. All the fresh flavors. Smell it. Oh, it's kind of hot. Okie dokie. So you're going to let that kind of sit in there just like that for a bit. Froze on my side, so I hope it didn't freeze on anybody else's side. Alright, so now we have that. We're going to set that to the side. As a chef knows, you clean as you go. That's gonna be my slogan. Put it on a t-shirt. Okie dokie. So, I'm gonna get another bowl. This might be too small, but we'll make it work. Okie dokie. So we're gonna take our tongs. And we're gonna take our we're gonna take our skin off just like this with our tongs. What's those T's? Oh, the T's. Oh, the t-shirts. So we're going to take off our skin. right? It should peel right off really easily, just like that. I'm going to do them really quickly. So I cut them in the middle, just like this. I'll show you here. I cut them in the middle, right? And then I sliced the skin. So that's the spot that we're going to take the skin off, and it should just come right off. See? Just like that. Some people like the skin inside of their potatoes. However, for sweet potatoes, it's not the best consistency. For regular potatoes, yes, it's like amazing, especially red potatoes. Oh, I thought that was a sneeze, but it was a yarn. Funny how the body works. Oh, that's a good technique. Yeah, it's much quicker too than to try to peel the potato beforehand and then cooking it, right? And then you get all the nutrition from the skin, so might as well cook that all together instead of trying to take it off. Because I probably would have still been trying to peel them. So this is much quicker. You get everything, and you barely get any of the actual potatoes. So it's like just skin. If you take the tongs, you don't get burned. So we're almost done. I'll show you what it looks like so far. This is what it looks like so far. It's very soft. You see, I can just like squish it, no problem. Right? That's exactly what we want from our potato. Good job. Okie dokie. So one of our cameras are down. So yeah, so this is what it looks like, just so you guys could see. And then when I'm taking it and I'm peeling it off, I am just doing that, right? Just so you guys could see that. Okay. I'm not gonna keep you there the whole time. I'm done. Go back to the other time. So I started it at around 3. No, like 3:30. Started around 3:30. Right now it's 4, so 4:27, so almost 45 minutes to an hour. But just be discretional because I wasn't really keeping tabs on how long it was on there. I just put it on before we started. But yeah, it's like something that you just like put on there and just leave alone, and then you come back and when it's soft, it's like, okay, great, it's soft. Now we can take our skins, put it in our compost. We can use that for our plants to grow some nice, beautiful plants later on down the line. How do you grow potatoes? Okay, so Alina's question of the day is how do you grow potatoes? So there's many different ways that you can grow potatoes. You can either take the potato that you already have from the supermarket, and when it starts to sprout, it will look. Do we still have one in the refrigerator? So this is what it will look like when it starts to sprout. It will start getting like these little parts on it. Really cool looking. So you can put this, because this part right here are the roots. So you put this inside of the soil just like this, and it'll start growing more, or you can cut it and then it'll continue to grow. So this is a potato. We're waiting to plant it. We're not sure when we're going to do that, so we keep it in the refrigerator so it can slowly morph instead of really, really, really fast. So yeah, that's one way a potato can grow. Another way a potato could grow is if you take a potato and you allow it to continue to grow and it starts to get a flower, that flower now has seeds. And the seeds are going to help you grow more potatoes. All right. Whew. Okay, so now that's our potatoes, right? We got our masher. This is a fairly quick recipe because if I wasn't talking, it would have been done already. And that's because once this is marinated, once this is mashed, and this is the last thing that you put on, it's basically done. So we're going to take some coconut milk from Trader Joe's, the pink one, the reduced fat. If you choose the blue one, which is full fat, that one you're just going to need half of the fat, right? Because it's concentrated. This one is less concentrated. So you can use the whole thing, but I'm just going to use be discretional. So I'm using half. So that's the other half of it. And this is what the potatoes look like. So that's what they look like. And then we are going to add some cinnamon. And then we're going to take some agave. This is about probably 2 tablespoons. So yeah, there you go. And then we're going to take all that and mix and mash it. And that's the reason why you don't want to use the whole entire can, because of the fact that you don't want your potatoes to be soup. You want them to be nice and mashed and kind of on the thicker side. So this is going to take a little bit more mashing to kind of get through. So you want to go kind of like this kind of position like that. All right, so you want to and now I'm kind of creating, I know some people have like one of those hand mixers. I've never used one. My mom had one, but I never used them because I just like to be in control of the way things are consistently done, the consistency of the potatoes. I'm already halfway done, boys. Okay, thank you. I'll tell you when it's your turn. Okay, you're gonna mix it around in a circle. And these are the same type of potatoes that you can use and make for like harvest day in November. Alina, please. Alina. Alina. Okay. That's your potatoes. And then we're going to take our top and put it over. And then that part's done. If you want to try it. Yeah. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. Very tasty. Tastes like, I don't know if you guys had it before, but when I was younger, I wasn't always vegan, right? So Boston Market used to have a sweet potato, and they had marshmallows on it. That's what that tastes like. To give you a gist of what it tastes like. Yeah, it's really good. Okay, so that part's done. Bam. The milk we are going to put into a container with the top and store it in our refrigerator. If I can find one, I'll do that part later. Ouch, my knee. Just gonna put it in here. You can use this for later, for other recipes. And then the water and stuff, you just put that to the side. And now off to our mushrooms. So they soaked in most of the sauce. So you don't see any sauce in there because it's all soaked into the mushrooms. So now we're going to turn on our cast iron. We're going to wash this off because we're going to use this for that as well. And another one, and another one. Another one bites the dust. Alright, we're going to take our onion. And we're going to use this onion to season the pot. For those that are new, when I say season the pot, I mean get the pot to have the flavors of what you are putting in it. So the onion is not necessarily for the mushrooms. It's more for the pot and making sure that the pot has a consistency of that onion flavor for the mushrooms. So we're going to do this pretty quickly. And then we're going to saute it so that way it's nice and tasty for the side. You can also do broccoli if you guys want to. Asparagus has a little bit more nutrition than broccoli does. Broccoli's pretty good too. If you're going to do the onions, garlic, and broccoli, you can do like a saute that on the side. Okie dokie. So we're going to take our onions. Put some grapeseed oil inside for our saute purposes. Okay. Have you ever wondered how come sometimes you go somewhere and sauteed onions are sweeter at some places than others? I'm about to teach you something real cute. Alright, so what they do is they add some type of sugar to their onions. So we're going to put a little bit of agave into our onions, and we're going to let them saute, and it's going to give them that caramelized onion taste, and that's exactly what we want for our mushrooms to be in. I'll show them. So this is what our onions are looking like, and we're going to let them get a little brown, and then we're going to add our mushrooms on top of each one. Just a slight bit brown, not too translucent, because they're going to cook longer with the mushroom. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Stop it. Having a ball. So the other day I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody, and I didn't realize how many songs of Queen that I actually really knew. This is my third time watching the movie. It's like, for me, it's like one of my favorite biofilms. It's awesome. So, yeah, really good. Recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it. So we're going to take our mushrooms, and then we're going to put it on top, just like this. I'll show you guys in a second. Let me just put them on there. What's happening? Let's scrape all of this out. Myself walking down. Okie dokie. So this is what it looks like, right? We got our onions underneath, our mushrooms on top, and then our seasoning and our marinade on top of that. And we're going to let that soak in. Then we're going to add a little bit of coconut aminos to it. That's why we didn't put a lot in the beginning. This is just going to give it more of a steam. And a little bit more grapeseed oil. Just a tad bit, guys, not too much. And then we're going to put our top on. So let that cook. Alright, so that part is finished. I'm going to read what you guys are saying. People make that for Thanksgiving with the marshmallows. Yes, just once. It's very good. Yeah, it's usually the small marshmallows when they do it too. Don't use the big ones. Okie dokie. Your eyes are burning. The onions are coming over to your side. Okie dokie. Whew. It's hot. Okay, sorry guys, I'm a little complainty lazy when it comes to this heat. Don't have. Alright, so we're gonna let the mushrooms saute. Yeah, sure. We're gonna let the mushrooms saute. We're just gonna clean up our mess. B is gonna help me clean. Can you put this back in the refrigerator? So molasses doesn't need to be refrigerated. I don't know why. And then we're gonna put away we're gonna keep our garlic powder out. We're gonna keep our basil out. Can you put this? And we're gonna keep our salt out as well, and our grapeseed oil, and our danka. And the rest we're gonna put back. When it's time to taste everything, I'll let you have some potatoes. Right now, you gotta wait, just like everybody else. Okie dokie. Here you go. Yeah, she has so much hair. I have to wash it and put it in some braids or something because it'll get tangled really quickly. Can you put this in the refrigerator? She can't hear you because you have to be over here. She says she wants to show you what she can still fit. Sis. Ta-da! The kitty dress. I don't know if you remember that you purchased this for her, but yeah, this was one of your creations. But she can still fit it, which is so crazy. She's so tiny, right? Yeah, she was talking about that earlier. Okay, excuse me, boo.
And she said, I'm so cute.
Of course you are. Alright, our asparagus, since it's going to take a little bit for this to be done, we're just going to prepare our asparagus. So we're going to take our asparagus and we're going to, you see this part at the bottom This is going to be hard. So we want to cut above the line here. So you see this part, this line right here. This, if you press it down, it's really hard. And then this is where it starts to get softer, right? So you want to reach for the part of the asparagus that's the softest. Right now, this is the softest part, and you want to cut all of that above. The reason why is because when you are cooking your asparagus, all of this part at the bottom is going to be so tough, it's going to feel like you're eating a tree. So you want to get this. Remember, asparagus is a flower, so this is its stem, and this is our flower bud at the top, and then this will be our root at the bottom when it's rooted, because they cut it at the root. So we want to cut that stem off because this part is more like bark than stem. Okay?
Okay, can I start cutting?
No, I got it.
What's this at?
Thank you. So we also put our asparagus in some water as well. So that way they stay nice and green and alive. And then the top of the bud is not squishy. And so yeah. Hi, Alina. So I'm going to put these back until, so we're just going to cut them. Now I can put them in a regular frying pan if I wanted to, and just turn them over. However, that's another pot that you have to wash, and you're not going to get the flavors from the mushrooms onto your asparagus, and that's exactly what we want. I'm going to find out another way to discard asparagus, because I don't want to just throw that away. I feel like there's some type of property or something in asparagus. I'll let you guys know next week what I find. So yeah, I mean, that's about that process. We just gotta wait until for the other parts. So our mushrooms shouldn't take that long. So we're gonna take our cast iron. Okay, yes, almost done. So our mushrooms, I'm gonna show you this side right here is not turned over, but this side is. You see how nicely browned that is on the opposite side? That's exactly what we want. So we want it just like that. We want it just like that. And then, I mean, trying to do two things at one time. So sorry guys if I can't balance and turn and talk. But yeah, that's what we want them to look like, this nice brown consistency. And we're going to let that brown on both sides. See, our sauteed onions are nice and brown and translucent. That's exactly what we want. All right, okay? So how's it looking so far, guys? Is it good? Alina has been saying earlier that she's super hungry. Like, I'm about to cook, so she just had to wait till she's like around the waiting for her part to come up. This is gotta figure out what to do at this point in time when things are just cooking and I'm just sitting around. Wanna play rock, paper, scissors? Okay. Come on. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, I gotcha! I win!
Let's play again.
We'll do it another time. Good job. High five. You almost got me. Yes.
And
I am trying to talk to them. Won't you talk to them? They can't see or hear you. Alright, so Daddy said that Gators is here. Radio Google. Alright. Yep. Okay, so we're going to take our pan and then we're going to take our mushrooms and put it into our pan. You can put it in whatever you want. I'm just going to put it into this bowl because we are going to put our asparagus in the same bowl. So once we put our asparagus in the bowl, once we put our mushrooms in the bowl, we can put our asparagus into the pot and saute it with the same flavors of the mushroom. That is our arugula. Yes, Alina, I'm trying to think and talk, and then I can't while you're tapping on me. What's going on? She said it's frozen. Hers usually freezes around the same time when it's almost done. But yeah, so our mushrooms are in here. Can't see it. Okay, there we go.
I am back. That's what Auntie Kel said.
So there's our mushrooms. You put them in the bowl just so that way we can take our asparagus and now put them inside of Okay, so this is what they look like. Is there a way to make this a little brighter? It's like super dark. Alright, so this is what they look like. There we go. So this is what they look like. And we're going to do this back and forth as they get nice and flavored with our seasoning. No, I didn't add anything else to this. I'm letting it kind of take in the flavors that was left over. This is the same pan that we are taking our mushrooms out of. So we took our mushrooms out, we put it in the bowl, and whatever was left over, like the flavors and the onions and the little bit of oil and juices that was left over, that's where our asparagus it is lying, right? So now that is nice and coated, we're going to
Abigail said okay. She asked, did you add any oil to
yeah, I heard you. We're going to add a little bit of the garlic powder. Sprinkle it on top. Add a little bit of the basil. Sprinkle that on top as well. Right? I'm going to take a little bit of our salt.
and white salt instead of pink salt?
Sea salt instead of Himalayan pink salt. Okay. So there we go. And then a little bit of a danka. And the reason why is I really like that fennel licorice kind of taste on my vegetables. And then we're going to do the same thing and back and forth motion. And this helps it cook evenly on all sides. And I thought we were going to need some of the grapeseed oil, but we absolutely don't. Right? So I have the recipe for this asparagus on the Discord, just so you guys can see. It's not any longer 15% off once that timer goes out. But you can use the regular Discord that will be put into chat right now. And that will be $30 a month. And it's not a free day to check it out. It's $30 a month straight. You can get it yearly if you like. But yeah. Okie dokie. So I'll show you what it looks like. You want to take a fork and you want to kind of like stab it a bit. And if it goes through, it's basically ready. Because if a fork can go through it, so can your teeth. Alright, so this is what they look like when they are nicely roasted on both sides and they're done. So we're going to let this sit here for another probably like minute or so. They don't burn, but they go nice and the flavors get soaked in. You can also add coconut aminos to this as well. You can add coconut aminos to it as well if you want it to have more of an Asian taste. You can do coconut aminos and ginger, and that will have more of Asian-y kind of taste of potato. So yeah. Whew. So I'm gonna start plating. Okay. What's the camera? I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Dokie. So our asparagus is finished. We turned it off. We just needed it to like steam. Alina kept saying she doesn't want it to burn. It wasn't going to, but yeah, got me nervous. All right, so put our asparagus down. Okay, so we have our asparagus down, right? And then we're gonna take our sweet potato. We're gonna add that to the side, right? That's probably like a lot, but she loves it, so she'll be okay. And then we're going to add our mushrooms. A little bit of onions. And there we go. So we have our mushrooms, our asparagus, and our sweet potato mash. So we are going to switch over the camera so you can see honest opinion of the 5-year-old. Hold on, let me get a picture. For the Discord so I can put this recipe up. We already have that, so. Okie dokie, go ahead. Get some AMSR in there, right?
It's very good. It's a good.
Okay, so she got a woo. Alright, so she's gonna take her food, and there we go. We're all done. So what vitamins are you getting in this meal? Okay, so from our sweet potatoes, you are getting vitamin C, vitamin A, and vitamin K if you don't rinse it off and put it inside of water, right? So you're getting all of those inside of your sweet potatoes. Inside of our asparagus, you're getting fiber, you're getting folic acid, and you are getting iron. And in our mushrooms, you are getting also some folic acid, and you are getting fungus and some probiotics inside of there with our coconut aminos as well. And our garlic is great for your heart. Your onion powder is also good for your digestion system. Some people are not good with onion digestion if you have an allium allergy, but it does help alleviate some of that digestion. So those are some of the things that you can get from this meal. I'm going to definitely put on more on the Discord about everything you see here and what exactly you are getting out of it. Just got to get around to doing it. Kind of need like an assistant for that part, but I'm going to get around to it. And when I do, it'll all be on there. But is there any more?
It's a lot more than that. That's like cinnamon. And
Yeah, I mean, if I go through every single thing, we'll be here for another hour. So I just gave like a little bit of a synopsis of what we use and some of the key points that we're using, but I'm definitely going to put it on the Discord so you guys know the properties of the food that you're eating. I'm going to revamp the get to know section that I used to put on my Instagram scale, and then I'm going to put them more associated to the recipes versus just get to know folic acid and iron and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys had a great time and that you were able to learn a lot and you liked what everything looked like. I think we're trying to rate out, right? But Drew is sitting there and forgot to look. I think he was about to fall asleep. It's hot. But yeah, so just stick around a little bit for the raid. And we're gonna plate some more food. I'm probably just gonna get a bowl because I'm just too hot to eat anything. Usually during the winter time, I gain the most weight, and in the summertime and springtime, I lose so much more weight because of the fact I don't really want to eat as much because it's so darn hot. But this is another way to plate it. You can put your potatoes at the bottom, right? Just like this. And then you can put your mushrooms on the side. Just like that. And then your asparagus. So you can also plate it like this if you want. And that's just like if you are doing it for yourself. You don't care what it looks like for anybody. But yeah. So we're going to leave. And we will see you next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to raid out. Just stay tuned for the raid. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Oh, wow. A party of 5? Wow.
1 ounce of tequila. Happy Sundays. That sounds like a fun, kind of like what we do here. Thanks for the read. 1 very full ounce of tequila. Is it the smoked margarita? Someone mentioned smoked honey.
I'm about to put it on
How
with the
is your
thing.
street? Happy Sundays. Is it the smoked margarita? Yeah, someone mentioned smoked honey. How is your street? Happy Sundays. What'd you get up to? We're making a quick margarita. Some your quesadillas. Each name. Try not to step on the dog. I'm gonna go see my makeshift ice situation. Yo, it looks like there's something I can pick out of here. The water underneath though? What? Oh, you do a vegan cooking stream? Cool. Mushrooms with mashed sweet potatoes and asparagus. That sounds good. Did it all turn out yummy? Grabbing a fork to try and smash it.
The thing, I don't know if that's her
That's a.
bot.
That's not a bot. That's one of the admins.
Yeah, but she asked. She said, "How was your stream? What did you do?" So I said, "We're cooking stream."
Yeah, so they totally ignore it because she said, I'm just here to protect the story. They apologize. But if she asked them, that's
I just have to do this off stream first to see what it was here.
So I'm about to go off.
that's on another level. So they laughing at him being all over, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In certain cases, you can just bounce it in the app. I've been doing that for reading. So I'll take this going back from.
I'm really happy with the chunks that we'll be able to use for on the rocks. If the bigger ice chunks are better for cocktails because they melt slow. It is melt. Nice, Wilson, that's a good idea too. Hop into the Discord, share your ideas and recipes. We were gonna shoot this up.
I don't know. Where's the follow thing?
Huh?
Where's the follow thing? I can't see it on here. No, I just got to follow. Oh, I was trying to follow here.
Follow her right
Okay, found it. Yeah.
Unlike my beverage of choice, alcohol-based. Okay, our glass. Here's my ice chunks that I was talking about.
This bot / admin is dumb. Says happy Sundays. Hello. How is your Sunday? I just explained that.
Yeah, this is, I would say, it's not a bot. That's different. And, you know, hey, watch out backing up. Forward. But, you have to kind of tell your level feels. I got it. Good advertising. And, like, knowing somebody being an angle. Like, trying to overcome the stuff. We got one. Like, incorporating that after the first time, it will kind of like, it's not at one time, like,
Yeah.
this is an introduction.
I mean, people always ask me all the time, like, what is Happy Sundays or whatever, and I'm like, okay, it's a vegan cooking stream. That's not promoting. That's telling me why my name is Happy Sundays, and that's what being your thing is still on.